Boom, what it is YouTube, it's your boy here, Ali Fuladi, back at it again with another video here on Fuladi Fitness. You already know what's going on, but if you're new to this channel and don't know what's going on, this channel is me helping you guys elevate your lives mentally, physically, and spiritually. So if you're on that type time, and make sure you join the Fuladi Fitness family, the gangway, by hitting that red subscribe button down below. And while you're at it, make sure you also drop me a like and leave me a comment to help support this channel's growth. Of course, remember to turn on that post notification ring bell so you get notified next time I drop some heat for you guys. Now with that all out of the way, let's get into the topic of today's video. You read the title. Today we're going to be talking about the mental benefits of semen retention. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright guys, so constantly spilling your seed, whether that's to thoughts on Tinder or bots on the hub, releases huge amounts of dopamine. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that is responsible for transferring signals in between nerve cells in the brain. This is also commonly referred as the pleasure chemical. Dopamine reinforces the feelings of pleasures by connecting the sensation of pleasure to certain behaviors. And in our case, that would be the act of constantly releasing your seed. Over time, your average dopamine levels start to drop down when you do this. And in result, it takes huge amounts of dopamine to be released at once to get the same effect as before you started doing this. Now, dopamine is a very important chemical in our system as it supplies us the feelings of happiness, productivity, and motivation. And as you all know, we do need these feelings to function in our day-to-day lives. So by you shrinking your meat or going around chasing thoughts, you're basically having a trade-off with your dopamine levels. You're trading off your normal dopamine levels that help you function in your day-to-day lives for huge instantaneous surges of dopamine that will lower your basic levels as time goes on. You guys have to understand, on a very biological and primal level, the goal of reproduction is on the same level as fulfilling the goal of hunger, thirst, and shelter. These are the main priorities your brain has to be focused on for your survival and your ability to pass on your genes. So with that said, your brain will use most of its resources to get these jobs done. Now, when you're constantly releasing your seed, your brain is thinking, why do I need this energy and motivation to improve my life? I'm already reproducing with thousands of women effortlessly. So now the problem of constantly releasing your seed should start to click with you. In the civil world we live in today, most of us have the basic needs of food, water, and shelter already taken care of. And now with the addition to your addiction to the hub or chasing thoughts, your goal of reproduction is also met. So of course your brain is going to be thinking that you're killing it in life. So what else more is there to do? Obviously we know that is not what's happening in reality. You could be living an absolute garbage life in shambles, but your brain is fooled into thinking that you are the king. Your primal brain does not know that these mates you're reproducing with are just pixels on a screen, or even worse, ran through skankaroos that you met online that just want your attention and validation. So with all that said, your brain in turn is going to lower the need for you to be confident, motivated, assertive, and all the other aspects that make you a masculine man. It perceives that whatever you're doing right now is more than enough and that you've already reached the best version of yourself. So if you combine that with the influx of highly sexually related content that's being so heavily pushed on us by the media, we are seemingly trapped by non-stop lustful stimulations. You guys have to understand there's a reason these adult films and other similar types of content are free. Society has an agenda to keep your brain in a hypnotic state of lust. Whether that's on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, the most promoted types of content are the ones that fall in line with this agenda. Attention is all you truly have in this world. So by them feeding you this content, they are now taking control of your attention and directing it towards lust 24/7. It seems like every time you hop on one of these platforms, you are bound to see some type of content that will get you aroused. And this is in hope that you will eventually make your way down to the hub or some dating app to get your fix of meaningless, energy draining, instant gratification. And like we previously discussed, every time you release in this way, your brain is tricked into thinking that it is killing it in the game of life. There's no need for it to give you the tools to help improve your life. You're already at the upper echelon. And now that you're starting to see this routine goes on and on, round and round, till you eventually become a slave to your own flesh. Over time, you start to watch your mind, body, soul, and overall life start to deplete and go down the drain. But instead of picking yourself up and going out to do the work you need to improve your life, you go back to these sites and back to these apps to get that dopamine rush, which makes you feel like everything is going great. This is why in my previous video, I called this addiction a deep, dark, vicious, habitual cycle. This can ruin your life and has already ruined the lives of many guys out there as we speak. Now with that said, this is where the practice of semen retention comes into play. The whole point of this practice is to build the discipline within you to refuse giving into these urges that are triggered by the content that is so widespread. Every time you successfully reject your urges and temptations, you are gradually breaking down the vicious, toxic feedback loop. You are now slowly taking back control over your own brain and not letting your emotions dictate your actions. And this in itself is one of the major mental benefits of semen retention. The discipline you build on this practice will carry over to all the other aspects of your life. No longer will the feelings of foolish emotions distract you from doing the things that you really need to do to improve your life. Slowly over time, after you stop indulging into this nonsense, you'll notice your brain and your dopamine levels will start to go back into its original state. Your mind is like a mirror. Anything you put into it will be reflected back out into your life. So you'll start to notice that these lustful thoughts weren't yours in the first place. Rather, they were planted and programmed to be there by these media outlets. And just like a weed that doesn't get enough sunlight and water, these thoughts will start to wither out and die. And as these thoughts start to gradually die out, you will be able to regain your mental clarity. This will help you gain the ability to think on a higher level, since your consciousness is not constantly being clouded by the haze of lust. That brain fog of subconsciously always thinking about sex starts to fade away. And this in turn opens the door for your brain to start working properly as it should have been from the start. With a clear mind now in place, you can finally focus on the things that you need to direct your attention to. Remember, your mind is a beautiful servant, but a horrible master. So now with that said, your brain is now working with you instead of against you. And that brings us to the main mental benefit of semen retention. Focus. Your ability to concentrate your focus becomes second to none. Tapping into the zone and flow state starts to become effortless as you can fully lock into what you are doing in the present moment. The distractive, temptative forces of lust no longer phase you or take you off track of what you really need to be doing. The best way I can describe this is that you become fully tunnel visioned into whatever you set your mind to do. This is why I would advocate a practice of meditation in combination to your semen retention journey. These two practices go hand in hand and make each other so much more potent than they were on their own. Your level of mental clarity and ability to focus are two of the biggest factors in life when it comes to building success. A focused man with a clear mind and path to achieve his goals is a dangerous man. Once his target is set, there's nothing that can sway him away from completing his mission. With every obstacle thrown at his way, it still seems that he finds a way to adapt and adjust to maneuver his way to the top. This is due to the fact that he remains focused on his target no matter what. And with a clear mind, he's able to analyze situations as they come to make the best possible adjustment to still remain on track to reaching his goals. This is a deadly attribute to have living in a world where most people have the attention span of a goldfish. Most people cannot focus for more than 5 to 10 minutes at a time. Their mind is so stuck in the mode of instant gratification they can never seem to find a way to dial in. So by retaining and building your focus, discipline, and mental clarity, your mindset will start to gear towards delayed gratification. You are no longer craving for that stimulation of a dopamine rush 24/7. Your brain is now disciplined enough to look past that and focus its attention on the small things that come together and eventually add up to improve your life. Remember, the day you plant the seeds is not the same day you'll enjoy its fruits. Gearing your mindset towards delayed gratification is setting up your life for a better future. As a man, you have to know that you're going to be older much longer than you were going to be younger. So stop chasing the momentary pleasures and start building for a better life. Semen retention can drastically delete and deprogram all the BS out of your brain. Then it's up to you and your discipline to reprogram it with the positive habits that will help you grow into your fullest potential. These are things such as working out, reading, meditating, and all the other things that come with self-improvement. The mind is the most powerful tool you have, but unfortunately most people don't even have the rights to their own brain. Stop being consumed and controlled by your emotions and urges. These are programmed to be set off by the lustful content that is so readily available for us in this day and age. Reclaim back your attention, focus, mental clarity, confidence, and overall mindset by retaining your seed. And once you have these tools working with you instead of against you, you can finally use them to help you reach the max potential in your life. And with all that said, that's going to wrap up the video for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it and got something out of it. If you did and you still haven't managed to subscribe to this channel yet, make sure that changes right now. And while you're at it, make sure you also drop me a like and leave me a comment of other topics that you want to see discussed here on Fulati Fitness, because I'm trying to provide you guys, the people, education, entertainment, and enlightenment. So drop your suggestions and thoughts in the comment section down below. I'm trying to build that interactive community with you guys here on Fulati Fitness. So talk to me, I'll talk back. And of course, before we sign off, make sure you turn on that post notification ring bell so you get notified next time I drop some gold for you guys. Once again, it's been your boy here, Ali Fulati, in the field, in the flesh, dropping y'all that game so you guys can make these gains. And I'm out of here. Peace.